Hello people, it's Poet, and we're in the RedCubed server in a little bit of a mine shaft that I've made up. Now I've gone in many different directions. We are on level 10 right now, I believe. I think we are. We better be. Yeah, we are. We're on level 10. I've gone in this direction, this direction. On level 12 I went in that direction. On level 12 I went in many directions actually. But so far, out of all of this, I've only found 10 diamonds. Now, I guess that sounds like a lot, but I had a fortune pick. So it's really, I only found like 2 little tiny batches of diamonds, and because of my wonderful fortune pick, not this one, but one similar to it, I was able to find some diamonds. I don't have them on me, I threw them in a chest. But what I was going to do today is maybe make some stairs up. I have like these jumpable ones, but I want to be able to just walk up. So I'm going to clear out a space, and I really haven't decided. Maybe it'll be this side. Okay, I'm going to clear out this space here. I know that I'm kind of opening up my closed off path, but oh well. I'm going to make it 3 high, as I usually make most of my rooms, because I like lots of space to jump and walk around. I just want to, maybe to here. It'd be great if I found diamonds this way. Digging out my little, my little room for crafting. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make a little crafting room so that I can start cooking things up and doing that kind of thing. So I'm just going to make it a little bit longer. And you know what? I better make it wider too, by like 2 blocks. Yeah. 2 blocks is fine. So I want to apologize ahead of time if I found blah. If I sound blah blah blah. If I found blah. Yes. What am I saying? Okay. Let me get my tongue untied. I want to apologize if I sound funny, and I don't mean by the way that I talk. Looks like I'm developing a cold again. I hate developing colds. I don't know where I could have caught it, because I've been on holidays for like a week. But apparently I caught it. You know what? Maybe it was while I was Christmas shopping. Someone might have touched something in the store, and then I touched that thing. It goes to show you, always wash your hands, people, because it upsets me when you guys sneeze on things and then touch things and I get sick. In any case, it looks like I'm getting a cold again, which kind of sucks. And usually, when I get a cold, it affects my ears. The reason, I guess it stems from when I was a kid. I always got ear infections and that kind of thing. To the point where, you know, had I had very many more, I probably would have lost my hearing in at least one of my ears. So, I mean, it's always been an issue for me when I was a little kid, and now as an adult, the worst that happens is I kind of lose my hearing when I get a cold, that type of thing, but it still really sucks. There we go, that's a big enough room, I would say. Okay, so let's turn these spruce into that, throw that. Throw that. Okay. Look at what I just made. A crafting table, like I didn't have enough of them already. But honestly, I didn't bring any with me, so it doesn't help me. And I was hoping that I could at least make a chest out of the wood that I had, but I guess I didn't have enough wood on me. That's okay. Let's just make as many furnaces as we can. We'll make 8 of them. That's good. Yeah. Ah. The heck were those blocks doing? Okay, so I wanted to make a chest down here too so that I could put some of this stuff that I gather up into them temporarily, but oh well. Okay, so how many more do I need to make? I need to make, what, 10 more? Let's make 10 more. Okay, so this will make 8 more, I believe. When you put a stack in, there's enough for 8. And then I want 1, 2, like this. We know how to craft things. We've been playing this game long enough. Okay, so let's just put those. All of this entire wall will be... Yes, that looks good. Okay. So now I can kind of throw things in like that, and things in like that. We'll do it that way. And you know what? Let me grab some of this out, because I don't need a whole stack in there. You never do. And I'm going to cook up some cobblestone as well, just because. Let me do a bit more than that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so this is our little crafting area, and I was eventually going to actually put workbenches and furnaces into these walls too, but I think this is probably overkill as it is, so this might be good. Okay, so now we were going to craft some stairs, because I need a load of stairs, so I'm going to just take as much cobblestone as I can. I'm going to make many stacks of stairs. And they're just the cobblestone stairs. I don't care. Let me look at this here. Like that. I hope there's enough room for me to walk. I hope I dug it out high enough. I think I have. Whoops. Place at the bottom. Gotta remember the new ways. Yes, this is just enough. I'm gonna probably cut this out one more. Because I don't like it almost hitting my head, although it is fine as it is. And I've made way too many stairs, everybody knows that. Because I'm near the top already, and look at how many stair stacks I have. Oh, that's okay. We always have a use for stairs somewhere. Yes, this is good. See, we went through one. That's good. We're making use of them. Alright, so someone asked me a question. I think it was on Twitter, of all places. And I kind of agreed that I'd talk about it on this episode. They are currently in school right now. Oh, this looks good, but it's just... You know what? I gotta dig it out. This will be my project now. Digging it out one more. Oh, iron. Okay, let me not get off topic here. Someone asked me a question, and the reason I'm going to answer it on here is because it's not really a Q&A like my Better Than Wolves series. It kind of is, but I could go on and on and on about it, so I don't want to go crazy. I'm just going to talk about it here. They are currently in school. Taking like network engineering type of classes, but they're still in high school. Many high schools offer these certifications, and if you're maybe a computer geek like me, then you know that, yeah, high schools do offer these types of certifications, like they call them A+, the CompTIA A+, or Network Plus. They have Linux Plus. You know, it's a huge series. And then you've also got Cisco certifications, like the CCNA, CCNP. You don't need to know what those mean if you're not really interested. But those are basically different certifications. It makes you qualified to work on computer parts. The A+ one does. And the CCNA, CCNP, those are for like networking, like routers and switches and that kind of thing. This is cooking nicely. Okay. So there we go, that's good. This is looking good. So they offer them in a high school now as kind of like a a bonus jumpstart college class. And I mean, I've always been for that. I don't know what the level of quality would be compared to how it is in college, because I took those kinds of classes in college. And let me tell you something. We were even explained that while while we were there, we were getting kind of the full story, whereas someone uh, who took it in high school would kind of just be getting the half-assed version of it. But I don't know if that's true or not, or if they were just justifying the fact that they have it as a college class. At the end of the day, it was rigorously hard for us. So that's why I kind of believe what they were saying. It was one class for like CCNA or something, CCNP. One class would be an easy 3 hours. One class for the MCSE would have been an easy 4 hours. It was just crazy. So I don't know if that's really the same for the high school kids. I kind of don't think that it would be, because that would be just nuts. But you never know. Maybe it's just as difficult. I could be very wrong. Let's see, like this. I just want to make this sort of nice, but I don't really care that it looks right, because this is, after all, my little. I'm the only one on. I'm gonna make it daytime. You'll see this in a second. Okay. So, I mean, it was really tough, the college course. The high school course, I'm pretty sure that it would just be like a watered down, here's how you write the exam, and here's how you pass the exam, and congratulations, you are now certified. With the certification class, we actually had the actual equipment right in front of us, loads of it. We learned how to manage it. We were tested on how we manage it. We had exams constantly. So I mean, it's definitely a different type of course load when you're taking it in college as opposed to how you would take it in high school. So that's something to consider. But basically, I guess their question was, you know, is it enough? Will it be enough? Can you comment on it? Is it worth it? That kind of thing. In other words, I've completely forgotten what the question was, and I'm just commenting on it anyway. But the gist of it is, you don't want to settle for just a 1. They were saying that they wanted to take the A+ course, which is hardware. If you don't know what that is, like managing installations of what could I even describe it as? Hardware. CPUs and hard drives and RAM and installing them, things like that. So you don't want to just settle for that. You want to also take other things, because this is a very well-known fact, especially recently, and especially with these high school classes. Unfortunately, it's kind of saturated the workplace environment for these types of certifications. You cannot go to a job now and say, I have A+ certification, and oh, that's good enough, we will hire you on the spot. No, that's just not how it works. Because of these high school classes offering them, and basically it's kind of, I don't want to say it's made a mockery of the certification process, but it's certainly it's made it such a way that you can't believe who's gotten the real certification, i.e. the college level class, and who's just received the cheat sheet to the exam, like the high school class. So it's very difficult. I can definitely understand why people hiring might be skeptical when you come up and say, I have this certification. They don't know what level you've received that certification at. Like, have you just written the exam and passed it, or have you actually learned the subject matter? Because anybody can memorize an exam sheet and pass based on that, but it definitely says something when you can actually go blindfolded and do the work in addition to what the exam sheet says. So you don't want to stop at just that one certification. If you're going to do the cert route as opposed to getting a degree, definitely get others. I wouldn't even know which ones to suggest. Used to be MCSE, but I think they changed that recently to something else. So I mean, I'm out of touch because I took those certifications like 10, 15 years ago, but you never know. They could still be out there. Microsoft certification, Cisco certification, A+, the CompTIA certifications, those are all good. So get as many as you can, but you should already know how to basically do most of the work anyway. It's just a matter of the certifications are kind of like a backup, if you will. They're not to say this is what I know. They already assume that you know that. The certifications are basically to say this is what I know, and here's a paper to prove it. So you always have to back up what you have certified. Your own personal experience, work experience, working the odd jobs, maybe not as a computer engineer or a network engineer, but something similar. Like one of my first jobs was as a communications director for provincial government, actually it was, which sounds actually very flashy, but I literally would sit there monitoring their chat rooms, their communication channels. They already had an IT guy, but the odd time I would sit with him and learn about what he was doing and how he was working, and basically be his shadow to figure out if that's what I really wanted to do in life. Now, granted, he was just a student himself, and I mean, had I seen what he was doing these days, I probably wouldn't approve of it, but it was still a learning experience. So you got to start small and work your way up. After I had all that work experience, then I could say, this is the work experience I have, and I also have certifications in addition to that to kind of back me up. I'm not just a fly-by-night, I got this test, now hire me kind of person. And there are a lot like that. One of the biggest problems that we face as people in the computer industry is that there are a million of us. I was kind of lucky because in my job, when I first started to apply to be in the computer industry, there was no demand. And that's how I was able to get a lot of the work experience that I did. It's a lot harder now for people trying to get into it now, because whereas when I was a kid, and I'm not that old, this isn't that long ago that this was a fact, nobody liked computers. And basically, if you liked computers, you were the biggest nerd in class, you were the biggest geek, people would steal your lunch money, that kind of situation. These days, I think it's a little bit different. If you like, I mean, even do they still have jocks? Of course they do. If you're one of the jocks, you still like video games and playing on your computer and doing that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a completely natural thing to do. Everybody has one. Everybody has an iPhone. I remember way back in the day, a friend of mine came up with he had one of the original Palm Pilots. And this was, again, before smartphones and that kind of thing, before they were very popular and the cool thing to have, man, he was beat up for having that thing. Nowadays, everybody has a smartphone of some kind. So it's just a different kind of mentality to have these days. Everybody loves computers, and a lot of people have found the idea, oh, if I get into computers, I'm gonna make money doing that. So a lot of people who you would really never expect to be in that kind of position are taking up that position. So that's also something to consider. You have a lot more competition. You gotta look good. So basically, at the end of the story here, I'm gonna run out of torches, so I gotta go make more. Oh, I can make probably a few more here. Yeah, here we go. Half a stack of torches. Let's take a look at these. That's done. I'm not gonna take them now because I don't want to overload my inventory. But it's all done. Very good. Let's cook. I don't know. Something. Just another one of those. Maybe put these in there. Yeah. So at the end of the story, basically, the reason I wanted to talk about it is just to say you can't focus on just one certification, like A+. And okay, now that I have that, I'll get a computer job. They're smarter than that, and unfortunately. There are lots and lots and lots of people who are competing for the same jobs. For the job that I have now, I guess they wanted me to kind of describe what I do. For the job I have now, I'm the manager of IT. Is basically the watered down version of what you could call it. Someone in one of the comments in one of the episodes gave a fancy title to it, and I thought, yeah, that kind of describes what it was. But basically, I'm the manager of the department, and the department is IT, so manager of IT. Right? Right. Let me just wall that off. What I do is manage the internet devices. That's the routers, the switches, the wireless. That's basically it. The switches, and also the telecommunications. So like the phone system, our Mytel phone system. Whoa, yikes! Don't go in there. The Mytel phone system. It's basically a giant computer / router that manages all the phones, the VoIP phones. You can get VoIP certifications these days. So, I mean, there's lots you can take, but my job encompasses absolutely everything. And to be honest, I could do it without the certifications. So that's the competition that you have. You will have guys like me who have been doing it. I've been doing this kind of job for, oh, let me see. Could I put a year on it? How long I've been doing this? Oh, geez, I don't know. Close to, professionally, close to 12 years. Honestly. So I have 12 years of experience. What do you have? We're going for the same job. Maybe as an IT consultant for a bank, or I don't know what other kind of, just an IT guy for some school division. That's a very common one. School divisions like having their own IT guys. I've got 12 years of experience, plus the certifications, plus I have a computer science degree at a university. What do you have to compete against me? Whoops, don't fall in there. I almost did. So that's what you got to think about. In addition to that, not only do you have competition from someone like me, not only do you have to know your stuff, but outsourcing is the biggest killer of IT right now. Outsourcing is where they hire a company of geeks. Usually geek is in the title. Like you'll see Geek Squad is Best Buy's IT department, and they will come out and they will set up your computer for you and that kind of thing. Well, on a corporate scale, and I'm talking like with businesses in mind, there are companies that will go out to your business and set up your phones and set up your computers and set up this and that for a very reasonable rate per hour, usually about $100 an hour or so. So you got to compete against those guys too, because why is your service better than what they can provide for potentially cheaper amount? Okay, I'm not going to be able to go this way. I should have brought a bucket of water. Maybe if I go like... Yeah, no, can't even place something there. Let's see how vast this is. The pitfalls of digging within the level 10, right? You almost get burned up by lava at every turn. Well, nothing of interest that I see, though, unfortunately. Oh well. We'll turn back. Well, maybe, because this goes on for quite a ways to what looks like an opened up area, I'll start digging on the other side. But I'm going to end this video after my very long talk and my mining operation here. As you can see, I dug, I think, 2 more, maybe 3 more pits and this whole big area, and we have not found any more diamonds yet, so sucks, but what can you do? To end the story, I just want to say very, very good luck to you if you are going to be taking on the computer jobs out there. For my job alone, there were 50 applicants. I had to do 2 interviews. First interview was with the manager and with the IT manager, and the second interview was with an entire board of directors. There were 50 applicants. After the manager and IT manager, I was brought down to 3. There were 3 of us. I actually managed to meet one of them later on, who was extremely skilled, but I guess he just wanted too much money, or I don't know what the case was, but he didn't take the job. So I kind of lucked out with that. There were 3 of us left, and I won out of the 3 to get the job. So basically, you have like 50 given people. That was just for this one little job. A meaningless IT job at the time. Now I'm the manager. I wasn't back then. I was like nothing, a pawn in the game, you know. And there were 50 other applicants. Those 50 people, I gotta wonder what made me better than them. The fact that I have experience, and the fact that I didn't just settle for one certification or certification in general. I also had a computer science degree, but really those are useless when it comes to IT, and that's something that employers really don't know. Is that, yeah, it's useless to have a computer science degree unless you're going to be doing programming. But leaving it at that, I don't want to discourage anybody from trying. My point really is, don't stop learning, don't stop doing. Try to get little jobs here and there in the related field so that you can add those to the resume. You need to stuff the resume with as much as you can, and that includes volunteer work. As silly as that sounds, volunteer work is super important when it comes to hiring someone. Will I hire if I had 2 people on my desk as the manager, and I want to hire one as an assistant, as an IT guy, will I hire the guy who he has all the same certifications but no volunteer work, or this guy who has all the same certifications and has volunteered? What's the likelihood that he's going to volunteer for me or volunteer to help out when asked, without being asked? I mean, that's the kind of quality I want in someone. So volunteer work is super important. You might not even understand why, but as someone who would be doing the hiring, I can tell you for a fact that it is looked at. And if you don't have volunteer work, you may lose out to someone who does. It's kind of the unfortunate truth, but do good things and we will do good things for you. So with that, I hope that's kind of explained it. Not a very Minecrafty topic today, but I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. This is my series and I can do what I want. Hey, come on, I just mined all this out. There we go. Staying, right? Yes. Okay, good. So there we go. We made a nice little pathway this way. Let me put a torch on the wall. This looks nice. Kind of crappy with the cobblestone, but good enough for a mining expedition place. Oh, look what I got in there. Very nice. So whoops, I almost walked off the edge. Let me just solve that problem. Like this. Yes. Okay, so that's basically that topic done. Thank you for listening, and hopefully if you're going to be... It doesn't just relate to computers and that kind of thing. If you're going for any kind of job, the same can be said. Don't settle for the minimum amount of education. Do whatever you can. For yourself, not just for the job you're going for, but for yourself too, to know that kind of stuff. So with that, we'll say goodbye. See you next time.